Hi everyone, it's Judy here at River City Sewing, bringing you this week's video news. Well, as we always do, we're going to start with our classes that are coming up for next week. We have loads of Know Your Machine class spaces open this week. So if you haven't, if you've bought a new machine or you've had it for a little while but you haven't done your Know Your Machine class, why not come in and book yourself in, because there's lots of spaces there. Monday, we're booked out in the morning. In the afternoon, there's a few spots there. And on Thursday evening, there's a few spots still in that Thursday evening class with Ali. So if you're looking for a little bit of group sewing and a little bit of fun, why not come along and book yourself into one of those classes. Now, the next series for Margot's class is coming up in April. It's the applique, reversing it up, which is all about reverse applique and different types of applique. So that one will be quite interesting. If you've never done reverse applique, then this is the way to go. She's got some very beautiful techniques of how to do it. The samples are up here in the store at the moment, so you may want to come and have a closer look. But there's only 4 spots left in that particular class. So if you are thinking about it, why not get into learn a new technique? So the big announcement last week was the Quilting with Confidence tour that Gammill was bringing to Australia. And yes, there is only one tour stop, and yes, it's only one tour stop that's going to happen in Sydney. So there's nothing here in Brisbane, nothing in Melbourne, it's just going to be Sydney. And I will say, since last week when we announced, those of you who are computer guided advanced users that want to do that class, you need to start booking yourself in, because that class is already half full. Okay, so if you are thinking about it and you would like to do it, computer advanced is already got 15 in that class in less than a week, so you need to make sure you get yourself booked in. Okay, so we have openings in the hand guided foundational, hand guided advanced. We have openings in computer guided foundational, and we've got spaces available still in the computer guided advanced track, but they're filling very, very fast. Okay, so there's lots of people been calling and asking about different tour stops for this year. There will be only one, and it'll be in Sydney at the View Hotel in North Sydney. Okay, so don't leave it too long. We can only fit 30 people in a classroom at any one particular time. So if you delay, you may miss out. So make sure you get yourself booked in for the Quilting with Confidence Tour Australia 2023. We're really looking forward to it. We've got 2 amazing teachers coming out. So look, you're going to have a great time if you come along. Now, it doesn't matter if you have any other type of brand of machine. If you'd like to come and do the hand guided track or even the computer guided track to see what Creative Studio is all about, you're more than welcome to. This is not limited to Gammill owners. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about hand guided techniques and all those kinds of things, you can come along. Now, just a reminder of that there will be no machines this year at this event. Just logistically, we couldn't get there. But we're hoping that in the future we may be able to do that. But this year, it's just going to be drawing base and theory. So, but you're going to get a lot out of those classes, even without machines on the floor. I mean, we've done classes previously on cruise, where Gammills have a Gammill cruise, which we're heading to this year in Alaska. And they do classes on board without machines, and it's really foundational techniques and more advanced techniques that you will learn how to do that process. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting event, and we look forward to welcoming you and looking after you in Sydney with our Gammill educators that are winging their way from the US to see us in July. So please book yourself in. Now, I'm sitting in front here of the Designer Epic 2 from Husqvarna, and this is a beautiful machine. It's a real sewist machine. It's a lovely embroidery machine, does amazing size hoops. Now we have this, we've mentioned it before, but we have this display model that we would like to go to a new home. Every so often we change out our display models, and this is one that we would like to find a really lovely home for it. Now, if you've been looking at upgrading your embroidery machine and you have, like Husqvarna, you've seen Husqvarna, if you're looking at a machine to do everything that you'd like to create, then why not have a look at this Designer Epic 2. Now, normally this machine is $16,990. We're doing this machine as a demo special. Now, I can tell you that hasn't done a lot of work. Is $14,999 until it's sold. So first one in gets it at this price. The Ruby 90, which is just below it, that's a very close price point to the Ruby 90. So if you were thinking of looking at the Ruby 90, then while this is here, why not come and have a look at the ultimate in Husqvarna technology here with the Designer Epic 2. Now I'll show you a couple of great features that Husqvarna have done, because this machine is quite unique in the Husqvarna range, because it has a built-in dual feed system as well as all the other fun features that Husqvarna have. So the dual feed system, for those of you who have had FAF machines, or you've seen them before, that IDT style system has been built in to this Designer Epic 2, which is fabulous. It's a 9mm machine, so it's a little bit wider in its stitch width, but it has all those great features from Husqvarna, like the sensor system, and it has those beautiful embroideries. It has all those deluxe stitch systems. It had all those fun features that we expect from Husqvarna and the beautiful quality that it does, but it also has those extra features. So if you are always at that point of the crossover of just saying, okay, I want a machine that helps me do my dressmaking, but I want a machine that helps me do my quilting with the built-in dual feed rather than a walking foot, then this is the one. Now this machine also does up to a 10-inch wide hoop, okay? So that's a 260 wide. So, you know, with embroidery, you've got bigger hoops and you've got all the variations all the way through that Husqvarna range of hoops. Now, if you've got anything from a diamond up, all those hoops are going to fit this machine. But it comes with some different hoops. Now, it comes with the 360 by 260, so 10-inch wide, so same length, but it's a little bit wider, so you can get those bigger designs in. It also comes with a 260 by 200, which is that great mid-size hoop that we use quite a lot, and then 120 by 120 for your smaller projects, or little designs. But if you have other hoops, like if you've bought a metal hoop, or if you have, and even if you have a FAF hoop, this one will read it. Okay, so there's no issue about if you're changing over with hoops from, say, FAF, but you can use them on your Husqvarna, provided they're a later model, say a Creative 2, Creative 3, Creative 4.5, Creative 4, right through to your Icon, and everything that came, Sensation, all those different machines. Those hoops will fit on this Husqvarna, which is been fantastic. Now, the other interesting thing with this one, it comes with a whole heap of feet, okay? So, and I put that there so I can remind myself. But the other couple of fun features that this machine does is sideways motion. So sometimes you can basically do your angles at sideways motion. So if you're doing a little bit of, quilting, or you're doing a little bit of decorative stitching, the machine will move can move sideways, which is great. You have fantastic lighting all the way up here, which is all adjustable, which is really fun, because like you and me, well, those of you with glasses, and we're all getting a little bit older, having good lighting on your machine is excellent. So you do have that fun thing with your machine. We do also have, in the sewing mode, we have laser guided, a little laser line that comes down to give us a little bit of a focus on stitching straight, which is lovely. Now in embroidery mode, we have, in this machine, we have the Joy of Sewing Advisor. This is like a tutorial or a teacher with you all the time. The idea of this is that it guides you to give you the best result. So with the Joy of Sewing Advisor, there's quilting, sewing, embroidery, and there's also a knowledge center. But the best part is if you're doing a technique that you haven't done for a very long time, like maybe putting in an invisible zipper, or putting pockets in something, or doing a different kind of embroidery, this machine is going to guide you with some instructions on screen, which is really great. It also, because these new breed of machines are Wi-Fi enabled, what that means that it has the ability to do its own updates. If you're on Wi-Fi, you connect your machine to the Wi-Fi, and it has it'll able to check and make sure that it's all up to date all the time, which is really good. Now, the other great feature of the Design Epic 2 is because it's a MySonet enabled machine. Now, what that is MySonet is the ecosystem of apps and software and designs for Husqvarna and FAF. Now it's called MySonet. Because this is enabled in this machine, and this particular machine has a subscription with it to the MySonet library, and you can access that from the machine. What that means is there are, I don't know, 300 or 400 designs or more in embroidery designs in this machine, but there's 8,000 more in this MySonet library in the cloud. So because your machine's Wi-Fi enabled, it's able to access those and pop them down to your machine just with a touch of a button. All you got to do is decide which one you want, and it'll be downloaded to your machine. So you'll be spoilt for choice for the amount of designs that you can do. And some of these are using the ribbon embroidery attachment, some are just plain applique, lace, border designs, block designs, quilting designs, all those different ones. A lot of them have been back catalogued for some previous designs from the stitch cards from over the many years, but there are new ones. The other fun thing that is in here as well is that you get to have a look at, there's a blog that comes out from Husqvarna, okay? And they do that, and they send that information to the machine. So you've got a project in there that you can just, if you look at the project, you can download the files and actually make that project with the instructions that are on the screen. So technology has come a long way, and with these machines that are Wi-Fi enabled, with MySonet enabled, it just gives you so much more scope to do something creative and to give you that information along the way. So this little this one I've just touched here, all the information comes at the bottom of the screen, so you can follow along step by step. So this is where a lot of the technology with the new machines, especially in this level, which is top of line Husqvarna, makes it a lot easier for you to get the enjoyment and the use and just something new and creative happening with your machine. So don't forget, if you want to come and have a closer look at this one, come in. We're happy to give you a really great look at it. The things I love about this machine, lots, okay? This one has the built-in thread stand. So if you have tall cones or things like that, you don't have to have another thread stand behind the machine, so it's not going to get all caught up in your hand wheel and all that kind of stuff. It's all built in, and this actually folds up and then closes the lid, so everything's nice and clean. So with the lid open, we've got our bobbin winder down here on the side, and it is a larger bobbin, okay? So it's a larger bobbin than what the Husqvarna Diamond series was. So it's about 1 1/3 times more, so you don't have to wind as many bobbins. And they're this lovely blue color, so you can see it's a little bit bigger bobbin, and they're blue. But the green bobbins will work, but not very well. Okay, so if you're wondering, I've got to buy new bobbins, I'd rather be filling them less, okay, than having them rattle around in the machine. So having the right bobbin is going to be a really good exercise for you. But hey, these bobbins, being a little bit bigger, you don't need to stop as many times with your embroidery, which is really, really good, or with your sewing. So that's really great. The other features it comes with, it's got let me just pop that back on. You've got straight stitch plate. You've got the zigzag plate that comes with the machine. But you've got a whole heap of feet and accessories that come with it as well. So a lot of them are designed to take in, especially the regular feet. Some of those have been designed to take in the dual feed system, okay? So that you can use those with your 1/4 inch. For example, if you like to use your regular A foot to do your 1/4 inch and just use that program within the machine to move your needle across, you can still use it and use the dual feed at the same time. So Husqvarna lovers, or if you've never had a Husqvarna but you would like a quality machine to be able to do your sewing and embroidery, then come and have a look at the Designer Epic 2. You will not be disappointed. Now, don't forget, we have, if you're thinking, oh, I haven't got all the money right now, don't forget we've got Latitude Gem Visa here at the store, where you can get up to 6 months interest free just by using the card. So why don't you go in and have a look at Latitude Gem Visa, look at all the T's and C's online and apply in there, and we'll be able to help you get your machine maybe with some interest free. Okay, so $14,999, normally $16,990. Bargain, come and get it. First one in will get this particular lovely machine. So it's well worth a look, and it's well worth having a nice little demo. But look, you would not be disappointed with the Husqvarna Designer Epic 2. We've got lots of customers who have them, and they're very, very happy. So why not come in and have a look? And if you're not quite sure the differences between the Ruby and the Designer Epic 2, just remember, Designer Epic 2 is top of line. Okay, so it has every single feature that Husqvarna has ever put together, and really for an extra maybe $1,000 you can get top of line over your Ruby. Ruby's a great machine, but hey, take advantage of this demo offer while we have it here in store. So come in and have a look at this beautiful Designer Epic 2. And don't forget, if you would like a brand new one, you don't want a demo one, if you want a new one, come and see us. We'll be able to help you with that as well. So gorgeous. Come and have a look, and maybe bring home your new Designer Epic 2 from us here at River City Sewing. So one of the ranges we featured in last week's email with just a few pictures was the Wild Blossoms range from Moda, from Robin Pickens, and this is the close-up and personal view of it, of the fat 1/4 pack that we have. It's just lovely tones of colours, but you won't really get to see it very well online. But this particular fabric is pretty special because it's like a rainbow of fabric on the one piece. So it goes from the lights, hang on, let me get this a better shot of this. You go from the yellows to the reds to the blues on the one piece of fabric, which is really, really gorgeous. Okay, so you have the coordinating fabric within that, within the range to make this really special. But isn't this just an amazing print with all the colors of the rainbow on here? And it's got little bees on it, which is really, really fun. So this is something a little bit different, so come in and have a look. And you can see we've got this coordinating range here, but we've got some charm squares, we've got some layer cakes, not layer cakes, we've got fat 1/4 packs, too early in the morning. And we've got some jelly rolls as well, if you want to have a little bit of a taste of that. So, and we actually have some layer cakes, look at that. Score, we've got some of those. So that is the Wild Blossoms range. Okay, so when you see this on the front, it doesn't really explain the story, but when you see those fat 1/4 packs, you can see just how beautiful some of those colours are. So why not come in and have a closer look at this new range here at River City Sewing. So now that summer is over and we're starting it in, the weather's starting to change. I know many of you have been talking about getting your Sojo back. There's a lot of you out there been talking, and I've been, the last couple of weeks talking to people on the phone and in person, and they've been saying, now I'm starting to get back, trying to get my sewing mojo back. Well, sometimes we have too much fun in the summer and we just need a little bit of a kickstart to get our sojo back. So why not come in and have a look around? Maybe you're stuck on a project. Maybe you just need a little bit of inspiration to get things moving again. If you've got a project that's partway through, why not put yourself in to the Monday afternoon or a Tuesday evening class to get you moving again, to make your creative year get off to a great start. Now, the other thing you could do is come and have a look at the range of patterns. We've got loads, and I mean loads of patterns, loads of books, all those kinds of things to help you get the inspiration that you need to get started. There's nothing like looking through a great creative book, nothing like having some projects ready in those small projects to get you started again. So having those available just starts the process of, getting a taste of that sewing coming back again. Same for embroidery. You might want to try a small Kimberbell design. Why not try one of our dealer exclusive, one of the monthly ones? It's $15. You can get that delivered to your Kimberbell account and you're away. You've got all your instructions, everything ready to go. And it might be just the little thing that you need to get your sojo back. Okay. Now, in the range of patterns we've got here, we've got them from beginners to advanced to, block of the month. We've got all this kind of stuff that are available here for you to have a look through. Now, you might find that you might think, hey, I've got a heap of stuff at home, but you might just need that something different to get you started again. Now, we've got all that beautiful Kimberbell fabric. We've got all these beautiful things here in the store to tempt you to get you started again. So why not come in and see the team, and we may be able to help you get your sojo back. So one of the things I always talk about on these videos from time to time is making sure that you've got all the stuff you need for a project and taking a stock take of some of the things in your stash to complete your projects. So you don't want to get 3/4 of the way through and find that you're missing something, and then that project becomes a UFO because you're missing one little thing. Okay, so now might be the time, as we start to get our sojos back, is to take a look at all those items. Couple of things to remember. Okay, look at your seam ripper. When was the last time that you changed it out? Was it feeling a little bit blunt last time you used it and you kept saying, I need to get a new one of those? Why not grab a couple? Okay, clips, pins. How are your pins going? Are they starting to blunt off? Get yourself some new ones. All those kinds of things. Zippers, if you're making little projects, clips, snap clips, whatever it is in your stash that you need for these new projects, make sure you have it. Otherwise, we don't want them turning into UFOs, right? So one of the other ones that we've got to look at is scissors. Now, sometimes when we're starting, especially in embroidery, if we're doing a lot of embroidery in the hoop, our scissors do blunt off. If you've used them over time, or if you've had, just a cheaper pair of scissors, they may have they're not cutting right to the end or things like that, or they're just past their prime. Okay, it does happen. So last week I put some pictures of these kits of scissors from Moda in the video, but I want to give you a close look. These are really great quality scissors. Comes in a little protective pouch so that you look after them, but they are all the different, there's some duckbill scissors, there's the micro tip scissors, there's the little curved end scissors that you need for embroidery. You've got the little snipper clips as well, like I call them squizzes, but you know what I mean. And a beautiful set of really fine pointed end tweezers. Now these are, like we said, from Moda. They're a really good brand, and look how nicely they're packaged into this little pouch that zips up. Now they're a green one, and there's lime green, and there's this blue, and they are $159.95. So if you want to start some new embroidery projects this year and you want some, make sure that your scissors are you know, sharpened to the point so you're not getting all those jaggy, funky edges, then maybe you need to have a look at your scissors, and maybe this may be what you need. Now, some of these projects, especially if you're doing some of the Kimberley projects where they're using felts and leathers and things like that, you need that really fine point that goes right to the end. So the micro tips are really important, and that's these guys here. Let me just take them out. So they have, oh, where are we? Little point that goes right to the end. So you've got really tiny point to get in there. So maybe it's time to have a look at your scissor stash, your scissors and your tools, to make sure that everything is good, ready to go, sharp, clean, everything's ready for when you want to start creating. So have a look at these. They're in stock now here with us. So like we said, lime green and this pretty blue, and they're available now. Now, another way that we can get our look to getting our sojo is, you know, sometimes clearing up our sew zone, looking at our bobbin stash, you know, making sure everything's nice and clean and tidy and ready. Don't forget, bobbin boxes are a great storage for your bobbins. Now, some people will use these for their embroidery floss, you know, embroidery bobbin fill. But you know, these are a great way to store them so they're dust free. So if you're going to do a big project and you want to wind a few bobbins and everything, why not store them where they're not going to get dust on them? Dust not good for your machine, especially in that bobbin race. I mean, I know that we're going to clean it out and everything, but you don't want lint and all that stuff going down there as well. So when you look after your bobbins, don't just plonk them into a container. One, they all start to unravel, and two, you know, you never find the right color that you want or the thread that you want. Why not put them in these containers? They're $11.95. They hold 20, how many they say in here? 28 bobbins, okay? And they're going to be clean, and they're going to be tidy, and they're going to be ready for when you need them. Great for storing your empty ones as well, so you're not losing them on the floor and all that kind of stuff. So bobbin boxes are important. Now, this is for your regular bobbins. For those people who the Berninas or the bigger bobbins, there is another one for you as well, okay? So bobbin box. This is the kind of fun storage that is useful in your stash. We have things like thread storage boxes as well, so that keeps your threads dust free, which is really important as it's going through the top of your machine. So things like that, if you've been thinking about it for a little while, why not come in and get yourself sorted? Keep all your material. I mean, these materials and threads and things, we've got to look after them, because when we're ready to use them, you want them to be beautiful, clean, and ready to go. So why not have a look at some great storage that we have here at River City Sewing, and get your sew zone ready for your next quilting or sewing project. At River City, we're doing a very special offer on some of our scan and cut accessories at the moment till the end of March. So have a look at the website. On in-stock accessories, we're doing 30% off. So if you've got a scan and cut machine and you'd like some replacement accessories, mats, cutters, cutter holders, we've got brayers, we've got sticker sheets, we've got loads of scan and cut items here. Why not come and have a look and stock up, and we'll be able to help you. We've even got some vinyls still in stock. We've got some of those starter kits for things like the stamps, and we've got the roller feeder, all that kind of stuff right here in store. So if you're a scan and cut owner, why not come in, have a look, stock up, and take advantage of that 30% off until the end of March. So one of the other special offers that we've got until the end of March is on some of our panel range. So if you go to the website and have a look at fabric panels, you'll see a whole range of panels that we have on sale. Now, some of these vary from 30 to 50% off. So why not go and have a look and pick up a bargain with those. One of them that we got on sale is the beautiful Chris Riley collection with the turtles, and we've also got the other ones with the smaller panels as well. Sometimes we just need to change them out and make room for new products coming in. So why not take advantage of some of these beautiful panels that we have on sale. Panels make great quilts, they make great table centers, they make great runners, they make great throws without too much drama attached to them. So why not have a look at the range of panels we have on sale right now here at River City Sewing. So So a couple of weeks ago, Bernina have announced that and had the release of their new L860 overlocker. Now, many of you may have seen the 850, which is the 4-thread overlocker that they previously released, or this one I've got in front of me is the beautiful L890. So I'm going to show you some of the features that's on the L860. Now, the L860 is just a 4-thread overlocker, but the big feature on that is that it's air threading, and it has a color touch screen with guidance to help you get moving. Now, it's exactly the same style of screen that we have here on the L890, so I want to show you that. Now, in this, I will put some pictures of the L860 and show you some of the features, but I want to show you on the L890 because we're looking at very similar machines. The idea of this machine is that it very much looks and feels like a sewing machine, which is very different from most overlockers. It has a nice wide arm, and it just feels, I don't know, you've got to sew on it to understand how nice it feels, and it feels very, very similar to a sewing machine. Okay, so Bernina have actually engineered this one for over many years to get it to look and feel like a Bernina sewing machine, which is really lovely as well. So with the main features of the machine is that this particular model is a cover stitch as well. The L860 is just a 4-thread overlocker. So we have an extra spool for our cover stitch on here. When you open up the cover, you have your air threading ports. Now, the L860 has these 2 threading ports for the lower and upper looper. Okay, so this is where it goes in. And it's all operated by touching your foot pedal. So instead of having a little button to press when you put your threads down, you touch your foot control and then it goes through the pipes. So that makes it nice and easy. In this particular model, we have because it's a cover stitch, we have a cover stitch port, and it's threaded exactly the same way. So nice and easy. The thing I love about this new series of machines, especially with the guidance, is that if you're not a confident overlocker person, and I have to tell you I'm not, this gives me all the information I need to get going, to get the right stitch, to make sure I've threaded it the right way, and it gives me the guidance to say, okay, this is what I need to do. It sets the machine up with its tension, it sets the machine up with its stitch length as a default. It's already programmed in. I can override it if I need to do some adjustments, but I have all those things ready, just like we do in our sewing machines. When we select a stitch, the engineers have set it all up for us, stitch length, foot pressure, stitch length, tension, all those kinds of things, ready for me to go. Now, up here on the top of the machine, we've got foot pressure. So if we need less or more foot pressure, we can do that. But there is a little indication on the screen as you're setting up through the guided mode that it gives you a recommendation for that. But that is manual. But the rest of the elements are all spelled out in the guidance that's on the screen, which is really, really good. Now, all the screen has here all the different stitches. So in here we've got a creative consultant, very similar to the Bernina sewing machine. So if you have a machine with the creative consultant built in, we do have that here as well. It's very familiar because we have the same fabric types. So this machine is setting up for fabric types as well as just regular overlocking stitches. So if you're not sure, you can go to there, put your little I forget key, otherwise known as the question mark, and you can touch anything on the screen and it'll tell you what that symbol represents. Okay, so in this particular case I touch light knits. So if I select the fabric type, again I can then select the type of overlocking technique I want to do, which for example might be this one here to do a seam. It tells me my needle to put in and the size for it to put in. It tells me the thread I need, it tells me the foot I need to put on, and then once I've got all that, it shows me on the screen what I need to do. Okay, now if I need guidance to help me set that machine up for, you know, threading it and doing all that, I can get that in guided mode. So there's expert or guided. So the L860 and the L890 have this feature on them. So for your confidence and for the ability to select your fabric and select your stitch technique, then Bernina has got that covered in these two machines. If you're interested in having a closer look at one of these, and we've got the L890 here, we can show you all those fun features that the L860 has. If you want to come in and have a look, come and see us, because we're already here to help you get moving with your overlockers. Now, there's one other feature that I want to show you that this machine has that's unique to the range that we have at the moment. One of them is that when you lift up, it's got a knee lift, I just don't have it on at the moment. But the fun thing is, I can push out that particular foot so I can get access to those loopers when I'm actually threading the machine. So I'm not trying to wiggle that thread in and around everything. I can push that particular foot across so I get better access. So I think that's a fun feature. It's well set out, everything's well coded. You have everything's color coded all the way through, so you've got all the guidance that you need. But having this touch screen with all that information on board, the ability for you to select your fabric and the technique and all those kinds of things, I think just gives you more confidence, but it also gives you the ultimate better finish on your projects. So why not come and take a closer look at either there. L890, and we can show you all those fun features of both the cover stitch and the overlocker. And if it's just an overlocker you're looking for, we can help show you all those fun features that it has and order you the new beautiful L860. And then there'll be some information in the email about that new machines and pickies and all that kind of stuff. So come and see us. So we're up here in the Longarm Centre, and we have one of our long arms we have to show you today is the Simply 16 from Handy Quilter, and it's on the Littlefoot frame. Now again, this is our demo model, and we are looking for it to go to a beautiful new home. This machine is designed so that you can quilt your quilts, you can baste your quilts through and do, you haven't got a big frame. It's basically what you see here, it's an arm span. That's how big your machine base is for your frame. And the idea is that you baste your quilt through and you can move your quilt around to where you want to do your quilting. So this particular model, because it's our demo model, has electromagnetic channel locks added to it as a bonus. So normally they're around about the $1,500 mark, but that will come with this particular model. Okay, so the machine is stitch regulated. You can use it in stitch regulated mode, coast regulate mode, as well as manual. So whatever style of quilting you like to do, you can do it. Now the idea is that you have your quilt and you may baste it through, just pin it through, and then this gets attached, your quilt gets attached to this smaller frame with these quilt clips on the front and on the sides and on the back, so it sort of holds it on while you do your quilted element. So if you make smaller quilts, if you don't do very large quilts, then the Simply 16 in this format may be the right one for you. So this particular setup is normally around the $13,990 mark. Now this particular model I'm doing at a really super price, and you'll see that in this email at the bottom. So if you're in the market for something to do a little bit of quilting, you want to do a little bit of hand guided, but you don't have a lot of room, then maybe this particular one will be the one for you. Now the Simply 16, if you expand your sewing room and do all that kind of stuff, this particular machine can go on a studio frame that's 12 foot. So this might be the stepping stone that you need to go to get yourself started with a machine that just does a little bit of free motion. And then if you like it and you feel like you want to expand, you can upgrade your frame to the studio frame later on if you decide to, or not, you can just keep it here on this particular frame. Now the other series of quilters that I would say would benefit from this machine, people who like to hand quilt their quilts. Now you're saying to me, hang on Jude, you're getting me to buy one of these to do my hand quilting? Well, this will help you baste it through. Now, some of those quilts can get quite large and you need really heavy basting stitches to go through and hold the layers. This machine can help you do that because it does have basting mode, or you can drop your single stitches all the way through depending on how close together you'd like those basting stitches or how wide you like your basting stitches. So some of these, if you really want to do your quilts, like you want to hand quilt your quilts and do all that, then these tools are here to help you set your quilt up and get it ready for you to do those particular types of jobs. So that's the Simply 16 demo model. Have a look at the special price we've got in the email today, and that's only while we've got our demo model here. So we've done a really super price for you, and look, we'd love it to go to a great home, so why not come in and have a look at it. We've got one here in the store, and let's see if we can find him a nice home. But come and have a look at the Longarm Centre. We've got it all set up here with all the different types of machines. If this one's not quite for you, then come and have a talk to us about one that's going to suit you the best. So from Judy and all the team, thanks for watching this week, and we look forward to seeing you next week. And from all of the team, bye for now.